Welcome to another Playful Humans podcast. I'm your host, Mike Montague, and DC's in the house. So jump, rejoice. My guest this week is DC, the Brain Supreme from Tag Team. Whoomp, there he is, right there. Sorry, I'm going to get him all out of the way, DC. You can find him at tagteambackagain.com. You can find Playful Humans at playfulhumans.com. You can help rediscover the power of play for adults. Take a fun personality quiz there too, and join a community of playful humans. So I think it's about time to check it, wreck it. Let's begin with DC Glenn from Tag Team. Here we go. All right, we like to start with the joke of the week. The joke of the week is brought to you by Botany. If you want to plant, you can't plant flowers if you haven't botany. There you go. I need to try that again. Botany was the sponsor of the joke of the week. Now, here's the joke, DC. Why do nurses carry red crayons?
Why do nurses carry red crayons?
Sometimes they have to draw blood. All right, that's as good as we can do today, I think, starting early. But I appreciate you being on the show. I'm so excited to talk to you. I've been a fan for a long time. I was in college when Whoomp There It Is came out. So obviously I have jammed on that for about, 25 years now?
28.
28 years, man. That's awesome. And I still play it. It will still get me out on the dance floor for sure, which is awesome. But my first question for you was going to be about the Super Bowl commercial and the scoop there it is for Geico. So much fun. How did that come to be?
Well, to me, this all, there's a backstory to this. It all started in 2011. Everybody thought that Barack Obama was in our music video because they took a frame of this guy named L.A. Snows in a group called Deuce. And I get a call from a New York Times reporter, DC, have you heard the Gawker article? Have you read the Gawker article? And I'm like, no, it's like the world thinks that Barack Obama is in your video. And nobody can get in touch with me, right? Because, I'm working in the clubs, we're doing our thing. And all of a sudden, it blew up the world. And now we're doing press for CNN, NBC, CBS, Stephen Colbert's show, just everything. And at the end of the week, I was upset because I felt like I missed an opportunity and I had nothing to show for it. And whenever there's a traumatic event like that in my life, I vow that that will never happen again. And that's what started my search engine optimization career, digital marketing, SEO. And back then, if you typed in tag team, it was all wrestling. And you type in tag today, it's all tag team. It took me 10 years to get good, to get mastery at SEO. And during the pandemic, September 2020, I get a call from my agent because I'm an actor. And she's like, DC, you booked a Geico commercial. And I was like, don't play with me. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Everybody's tripping. I haven't even auditioned for a Geico commercial, right? And she was like, no, they want tag team. And I was like, oh. And I went and checked my tag team phone, and there it was. A message from beautiful Miss Allie, who works at the Martin Agency, who represents Geico. And they were like, we want you in the commercial. And it was perfect synergy because they called me, but they didn't wait for me to call them back. They went to my IMDb page because I do SEO and I can be found now.
Yeah, right.
Actually can be found now. So I went, I let my agent make the deal because that's my acting agent. I do commercials and all that. So it was perfect synergy. And we made the deal, and it is the biggest, most lucrative deal I have ever made in my existence.
Wow, that's crazy.
Overwhelmed with joy and blessings. And yesterday we found out that the biggest trade magazine in the world has selected us for the #1 commercial of the year.
I think it was the commercial of the year, man. It was amazing, hilarious. I still remember it. And I think even out of the Super Bowl, I'm from Kansas City. So Kansas City was in the Super Bowl. And I think the most memorable moment for me was the Scoop There It Is commercial. At
Exactly.
least the most positive memory.
Yeah, man. And it just, has it has changed my life in ways that you wouldn't think, right? Like a lot of people think that this is a story of, the phoenix rising from the ashes and the story of and to some extent it is a reinvigoration, but this is more of a story of steadfastness, perseverance, never quitting, hard work.
Yeah.
It's learning how to learn, playing offense and planting seeds, and all those seeds harvesting at the same time to bear fruit, that I could have never imagined. Perfect example. If you get a Geico commercial, that just, you're about to be on tour, right? But we're in a pandemic, so I can't go on tour. So I'm like, I can't squander this opportunity. What can I do? Get a publicist, and hey, let's get acting and voiceover going, because I'm an actor and I'm a voiceover this week on NBC. I do.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And funny thing is, all the publicists was like, well, we don't kind of know what to do with a commercial, and we're all working from home, and it was just difficult. And I was like, you know what? And this is the thing about me, I'm different, because if somebody tells me they can't do something where I hit a brick wall, I come up with hustle tactics, right? Because the key to my success is learning how to learn. It's not enough just to learn. You must learn how to learn. And one of my hustle tactics is that I join organizations. And, I joined the Public Relations Society of America, because when you join an organization, society, or association, those entities are filled with people who love their profession, that have been doing it 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and can't wait to tell you and give you their experience.
Right.
Days in Super Bowl week, a matter of fact, we talked about the Super Bowl. That Wednesday, I'm on a Zoom call with the CEO of a PR firm. We get to ask questions. I ask, our press release is relevant. And they're like, well, what's it for? And then, I played it up. But, well, I'm kind of featured in a national Geico commercial called Scoop. There it is. Look at the chat and blew the entire Zoom call up. Oh my God, that's my favorite commercial. That's not him. My grandmother loves that. And it's just snowballed, and the chat's just, I was like, whoa. And the moderator was like, whoa. And it was like, all right. We'd like to welcome DC to the organization. But back to his question, our press release is relevant. And this CEO, I'll never forget it. She was like, yes, because the whole last year, every story has been negative. Every story has been about COVID. Every story has been about politics, and people are tired of it. And here you guys come spinning scoops, throwing sprinkles, and DC, your smile. Of course, that press release is going to work. You're going to go here for all the publicists. You're going to go here for all the TV talk shows. You're going to go here for all the journalists. You're going to go here for all the podcasters. And you're going to make sure your pitches are like this. And she gave me the entire breadth of her existence and of her profession in 10 minutes. And it has changed my life forever. And it is amazing that you and I are talking right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's so amazing. But I also wanted to add on to it, just for my podcast and my listeners on Playful Humans, is it's because you also didn't take yourself too seriously, that you're hustling and you take your work seriously. Like you said, it's a culmination of really 28 years of work, but it's also because you were willing to basically do a parody version of your song, right? And I know that you've also let Mickey Mouse cover Whoomp There It Is and other things. And so I'm wondering how you balance that. Just like she said, you're bringing positivity and fun. Even your video that you mentioned that went viral, it's super fun. It's not a serious, endeavor here. You're having a blast. You got people on roller skates and great vibes and all kinds of fun party there. How do you feel like that positivity impacts the same thing? Because I think people think it's work or play, but what I love about your story, for me personally, is it's both. You're still in the clubs having fun and performing and playing, but you're also grinding and working hard on the SEO and making it happen behind the scenes too. How do you balance those two?
Because you get one life.
Hmm.
right? And you got a choice, right? And my choice is to go hard because I want it all, right? And I'm just, my main thing is that I look at the glass half full as opposed to half empty. My thing is
Love
over
that.
the years, I've acquired, you know, serious control over my emotions, right? I love being wrong because, for one, when you admit that you're wrong, it's going to kill you inside. You're going to be screaming inside. But when you admit that you're wrong, your mind is truly open to every possibility, and you sequester your ego and you kill your pride, because pride kills men. I've seen pride kill a lot of people. I've seen pride hold people back. I've seen pride make people make up stuff to win arguments and just go down that rabbit hole until all the stuff that they tried to make up becomes their truth. And now they're truly lost. And me being able to recognize that in people, because first and foremost, I'm a DJ, and I've been DJing since I was a kid, and I'm in that booth watching human nature and controlling it with a little bit of alcohol added, or maybe some strippers at it, right? At that, I understand what not to do, right? So not being in control of my emotions, anything I do is, there's never a quid pro quo. I don't do things for something to work. I do things to get a little bit closer to mastery, right? And you've got to put in the reps to get to that point. You don't take one real estate class, then you're a super duper real estate agent. It doesn't work like that, but most people think it does, and that's why they quit, right? And I know that everything is a long haul, and I embrace the challenges because I owe it to my parents. They worked me and my brother like a dog. I've been shucking peas and stemming collard greens since I was 5 years old. My mom had a prep cook. My dad made me wash cars,
Nice.
grass, mow the lawn. You know what I'm saying? We had work. So therefore, I have never, ever in my life as a grown man feared work, right? So I love the challenge of something being hard because I know I'm going to be the only ones to try to face that challenge. And in essence, it's not for everybody. But even if I fall short, I call it collateral sprinkles. There's always good in doing something else because it serves you later, right?
Yeah.
And that's just who I am. I'm different. And I love just to hustle. Like right now, I've got 16 fires going, right? Right now, I'm about to release an NFT crypto line. I'm about to,
Nice.
you know what I'm saying? I'm about to present for the Voiceover Awards. I got 3 TV shows coming. I got 1 movie coming. Like, I'm relentless in my pursuit because I love life. And I want my life to be where I do a little bit of a bunch of things, right?
I'm very much that way too.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I did the club DJ thing myself in my 20s and had my own top 40 radio show here in Kansas City. But I think maybe it's just that personality of wanting to be in the mix and do a lot of things. But there's one aspect of it I wanted to ask you more, because I think so many people pray for that like big hit or that viral moment. And now you've had a few in your career, but for me, I found them to be overrated. That one song doesn't mean you're set, or that it's done. It's an opportunity in a short window of time, that it really goes fast when you look at your whole life. So what would you say to people, maybe young people or people that are waiting for that big moment rather than grinding and figuring out how to make it work, or what happens after that? Because I think a lot of people don't plan for what happens after the Geico commercial becomes the best commercial in the entire year. I don't think people know what it's like on the other side of that. What would you say?
Okay, so all I know, right, is that, here's a perfect example. The traditionalists will tell me, DC, you can't do everything. Like all the stuff I just listed, like, man, you can't do all that stuff. You can't do everything, DC. And people say that to me all the time. And I said, and I don't argue with them. I say, you know what? You're exactly right. I can't do everything, but I sure enough can be prepared for everything. And like,
Yeah.
oh, that makes sense. And I just shake my head and look at him like, I'm like, the very thing you just disapproved of, you now approve of said differently, because preparation is doing everything. All I do is prepare. I don't care what it is. Whatever seed I plant, I prepare for it to grow and harvest. So me being all over the place is not me trying to do a bunch of things. Me being all over the place is me preparing for all the things that could come to me, so I'm not blindsided. So I keep my ball of things that I want in one ball, and if they don't serve me, I got to say no to a lot of things, right? Or you're just all over the place. But for me, I want mastery in acting. I want mastery in voiceover. I've been doing voiceover all my life, right? We're about to go on tour. We're about to do all these things, and you can do 3-4 things at one time if you set it up correctly.
Yeah, right.
So I don't even look at when the Geico commercial's over, because while the Geico commercial was hot, I never stopped preparing. I've been preparing the whole time. So now that the Geico commercial happens, everything I've been preparing for, I can put eyes on. I'm about to drop a press release tomorrow. And for me, because I know SEO and I know how to work the system, press releases work wonderful for me, because press releases are a Trojan horse for me. Then I get to list all the things that I want, all the things I want to throw out in the universe, all the pie in the skies, everything. And you never know who's looking. And you might get somebody to come back and say, hey, let's try it. Like every podcast I do, every interview I do, I want to be in The Mandalorian, or I want to be in anything, the Star Wars universe, live animation, or voiceover. I say it every day. And
That's
now
awesome.
I'm auditioning for these things, right? Because I prepared for it. So it's preparation, but then the things that you want, you have to know what you want first. And for me, I tell people all the time, they come to me with their problems and advice, and I'm like, what do you want? And they can't tell me. And I'm like, well, what's the solution? They can't tell me. And I'm like, look, all I can tell you. And they're like, well, how do you do it? I'm like, what do you want? I was like, I want it all. They're like, well, how do you do that? And I'm like, this is how I do it. If there's something I want, I'm pieing in the sky. I'm looking at the most fantastical, far-fetched thing that I want. Most people would say, you being in The Mandalorian? Okay, DC. All right, whatever. Right? And I'm like, yeah, that is far-fetched, but it is possible. But how is it possible? Well, let's inch our way back 1 inch. Oh, okay. If you're auditioning a lot for it, maybe it might happen. Maybe if you do a press release and it gets back to Jon Favreau that you want to do it and his kids love Scoop, there it is, you might get an audition. Well, let's play that. Just keep grinding, keep working on your craft, keep getting better. Put yourself in a position, put yourself in front of people, keep SEO hot so you can place yourself in front of people that need your talents. Well, I'm doing that now. Well, I'm doing this now. And what you've just done is you've just worked your way back to practicality. And you've just created a reverse business plan with a step ladder to your goals and dreams. When I tell people that, it just blows them away.
I love that, and it's beautifully said. Have you thought about online courses and motivational speaking?
Because I'm about to start doing motivational speaking for colleges and corporate events, and I don't even care about the money, because I give what I want first. I give it away. That's why I do 3-4 podcasts a day, do all the interviews, right? That's why I talk to people about, I answer questions, because my mission is to talk to anybody who's willing to listen about the things I wish someone had talked to me about when I was a young man.
Yeah, for sure.
If I could change one person's life and give them a trajectory on something different, it's about how you think. Really, it's not about what people do for you or how you get it. It's about how you think. So if somebody tells me I can't do something, well, how am I going to put this together where I can do it? I join organizations, right? They were telling me, you can't do shows, DC. You only got 1 record. Okay, you don't want to put me on your roster. Let me go join an organization. I joined the Entertainment Buyers Association, AIBA. That's all the buyers, the people who put on the concert, the men who got the money. I just cut out the middleman. Now we're doing 40 shows a year. Okay.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This morning, I need writers. And I'm, like I said, I'm in PRSA, and I said, look, I'm DC Tag Team. I made Scoop There It Is. Boom, 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 boom. Like my introduction. I need writers ASAP. Now I got an email with 100 writers because everyone loves the commercial. That's how you use it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how
it's not that moment. It's not about going viral. It's about using it to find those other opportunities.
Viral is going viral. The reason going viral is overrated, right? It makes you feel good, but you don't need 100,000 people to like you. You need 1,000 people to pay you.
There you go.
That's the difference, man. I'm not worried about that. That feels good now but if you want attention, that's all you think about. If you want to be a star, that's your equation to star, but you haven't done any preparation to deal with that stardom, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, you flail and you fall into the abyss because you're lost already from the start. That's how most artists were. That's kind of how we were. But, you know, I knew I signed a messed up record deal, and I had, as a man, to take responsibility for it. Most people would have just got old and bitter, right? Most artists do. But I took it as an opportunity to learn. So if I'm in a legal battle and 2 record companies are fighting over us, well, then let me become a paralegal, right? Let me figure out what motions and discovery and what they're talking about and what their tactics are. And how do you get a court case? And what do you do? And because
most first record deals are bad anyway, right? I mean, most artists run into that.
We were in a legal battle until 2017, and we prevailed. Now, I came at a cost. You know, you go to war, you lose an arm, a leg, come back with an eye patch, but you're living. And it's up to you what you do. And I have been preparing that whole time. And every time that Whoomp There It Is in the commercial and we don't get paid for it, right? You know, I take advantage of that. I don't look at the glass half empty. I look at the glass half full. Who I got to contact to make it look like we did this? Like we, you know, how can I take advantage of this situation when Walmart puts it in their Christmas stuff, right?
Yeah.
How do I take advantage of this when they use every year? People use Whoomp There It Is, a movie. Just it never stops, right? I have a forever hit record. It's evergreen. So it is up to me to hustle up what I can hustle up. And I knew that from I've been known that. That's why, you know, when you talked about DJing wasn't about being in the limelight for me. DJing was about mastery, but I was so good at it. I was like, I'm not just your DJ. So whatever club I work at, I'm not just a DJ. I'm the light guy. I'm the sound guy. I do your voiceover for your radio spots. I do your flyers. I do your graphics. I do your television commercials. I do the job of 10 people in one. So you will never get rid of me. You will give me health insurance, a life insurance policy, and you will give me 2 or 3 streams under the table. And I will be a DJ and turn that into a career where most people are just DJing. They just get one little check. Right.
Where do you think that came from for you? Because I've always felt the same way. DJ for me was an opportunity to get in front of thousands of people a week. And if I do that, I knew other opportunities would come from it. So I didn't ever expect it. You made it. You crushed it. I didn't ever expect to be, you know, an awesome world-class DJ touring, but I expected to find other people that saw me hustle, saw my personality, and wanted more of that to get me other opportunities. But you think it was just the family or your background or personality? Where does that come from?
This is exactly what happened. But in my environment, because I work strip clubs and clubs, in my environment, I'm a hustler. So I'm selling mixtapes, I'm selling this, I'm selling that. And then in my environment, when people see you hustle and they see you making money, wait a minute, I need to do that. Now everybody's trying to do that hustle, right? And they're like, haha, I got your hustle, DC. And what they've done is they diluted my hustle. I'm like, hey, good job. Here's my next hustle. Catch me if you can, because I've got 10 hustles incubating in the hole. It's
how come you don't get better or beat up or what gives you that optimism and that creativity to keep going? Do you think?
Because I go through all the stuff that everybody else goes through. Right?
Me too.
But you can be depressed and keep it moving. You can be fearful of going into something new, but still keep it moving. You can be anything. You can do 2 things at once. So I play offense. I'm always playing offense. Always. I'm always pressing. If LeBron shoots 30 shots and misses all of them, is he going to quit? No. He's going to shoot 30 more and miss. Is he going to quit? No. But then he's going to make one. He's going to make two. Then he's going to win 6 championships, right? Because it's about getting in the reps. Nothing comes easy. I tell people this all the time. This is what I always finish podcasts with or speeches or whatever.
Yeah.
Just remember, it never, ever, ever gets easier, right? But it does get better. And that's all you can hope for in life, right? That's all you can hope for. And the only way it gets better is you continue to grind and you continue to hustle and you don't let your emotions get the best of you. They used to call me DC or jack of all trades, master of none. Okay.
I get that a lot too. I hate
But
that.
if you live long enough, hustle hard enough, play offense, learn how to learn, you become masterful at all those trades. And then they become one and they come back to serve you in ways you never thought possible, right? And I tell there's no quid pro quo. You don't plant a seed, sit down Indian style and be like, okay, seed, grow, seed, grow. And the seed don't grow, I quit. We all know people like that. But what they don't understand is plant that seed and keep playing offense. Keep planting seeds because
plant other seeds, water the seed, go
Actually,
find some sunshine, get better soil, keep working on it.
Everything that every choice you make helps that seed grow. So even though you might not be able to water that seed, you might come back to it, but it might be organic that it happens because you even attempted to do it, right? Like, and this is one thing that the pandemic taught me. And I vowed that I would not leave this earth regretting something I wish I had done that I didn't do. So now I got tutors for everything. I go get coaches for everything. I'm always been relentless on education, but then I've restructured it to find the people that have been doing this for 40 years so they can tell me what to do. And then I've learned what not to do and then put my creativity to it and make it my own, right? Like, and I also realized that there are no mistakes. There are no missed opportunities because you can correct all that.
Yeah, it's just learning. Yeah.
Think about perfect example.
Another shot.
I'm sitting in the office in 95 of New Line Cinema president, and he's like, yeah, man, might want to cast you for this movie. We got LL Cool J and Wesley Snipes as the leads, and you know, we're trying to decide which one. It's a vampire movie called Blade. I'm like, yeah, call my agent because of my hubris, right? I'm Whoomp There It Is back then. I'm not even seeing that I am sitting in the office of New Line Cinema. And I beat myself up for years because I was there. 95, I'm in the deep bowels of Disney and I'm teaching the voices of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse how to rap. They're teaching animation, voiceover. That's when my voiceover career started. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I didn't do it because I didn't see it. And I beat myself up for years because I was there. But I stand before you with all these movies and all these television shows come out as a working actor and tons of voiceover gigs as a working voice artist. And my Aunt Judy told me this, and I'll never forget it. She said, sometimes in life, we're just not ready. And that's okay. You know, you don't put an apple pie in the oven and after first eating 15 minutes, okay, it's done and eat it. It's not right. So I look at life like that. I look at the things that I haven't done like that, and I go back to them now. They're serving me in a way, and then I just add all these other things on. And then the thing about the organization thing and just really figuring out ways to learn things as you cut down the learning curve faster. Like me and you can have I can have an hour conversation with you about crypto if you know crypto inside out and you can tell me things, right? And then I would understand it. I would go back over it. If there was a word I didn't understand, go look at a YouTube video until I understood what that word was. See, that's how you utilize YouTube and things like that.
Oh, I love that. It's so fast. Also books. I mean, there's so many great books out there that you read the top 10 books on any subject, you're going to be an expert and you can do that in 10 weeks.
And if you don't,
it's less than 90 days, right?
Don't like to read. This is what I do. I'll take the copy. If I get, this is the learn how to learn concept. Say you get a long email And the first 2 lines, you just start after that, you start daydreaming. Then you get to the end of the email, you're like, man, I didn't even get nothing. I've been daydreaming that whole email. You're reading it, but you're daydreaming at the same time. So what I do is I dump it into AI. Now it reads to me. I'm still checking emails, but then now I here's something that captures my interest. Now we're reading it together. And now I've retained more information than I would have ever retained just by reading it or just by listening to it, right? Learn how to learn. That's how I learn things fast, right? I'm relentless.
And do it. You got to do it. I mean, I think also what I hear from you is you can't just sit back there and learn either. You got to go apply it, and you're learning for a reason, and you're trying things out there. You're not just theoretical about it. You're putting it into play for your career.
You cannot be emotional about it. You can never be emotional about it. You just have to do it, right? Like with acting. Everybody's like, I didn't get the audition. And they think the world's over, but I'm like, that's the wrong attitude. That's like, this is like weightlifting. You got to put in the reps. The auditions are reps. You don't go to the gym, do 1 set of 20 bench press, and then get in the mirror and be like, all right, I'm ripped. Acting, I'm like, if it's going to take me 1,000 auditions to get where I want to get to, can I do 50 a day? Let's get it. Every audition is an opportunity to be great and be better, right? If you're looking at, that's why I try to not to do things where financially everything is riding on it. I try to do things that,
I think when you diversify and you spread that out, I mean,
things that assist and get me a little chunk here and there that adds all up to something big, right? Because it's heartbreaking when that happens, right? And and what do they say? It's full of analogies. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know what I mean? That's the way it is.
All that, I think diversity of thought and experience builds so much learning that you said, and so many creative ideas. You start making connections other people make. You don't get ideas or people that other people wouldn't get if they were specialized. And so that's why I've always been a generalist myself.
It's the first rule of improv. Yes, and.
Yeah.
You can't say no in improv.
All right. Well, hey, you just set me up. Do you want to play a game, DC? Sure. Yes. And we're going to play a game right now. Wrap this up. You got Survey Says. Survey Says pretty easy. You've seen it on TV. We surveyed 100 people. The top 4 answers on the card. We're looking for 2 out of 3 here. Number 1 question. During a power failure, name something you can still turn on.
Flashlight.
Flashlight's number 1 answer. You nailed it. All right. Also on there, radio, water, spouse, and oven. Okay.
Generator.
Name something cats and men have in common.
Name something cats and men have in common.
Yeah, you got it.
They're both hairy.
Hey, Harry is on there. That's our number 4 answer. Love sleeping, number 1. Sneaky and like petting, also on there. Okay. All right, last one. You already won, but we'll try it again. Name a reason you might make your spouse get out of the bed in the middle of the night. Or your spouse might make you get out of bed in the middle of the night.
Snoring. Snoring
is the number 2 answer. Check a noise, number 1. Attending to a baby sick or a glass of water, also on there. I appreciate you being a good sport. You nailed all 3. That means you get a free 30-second commercial here. Whatever you got going on, how can we help you? We're looking for Mandalorian, Jon Favreau connections. What else?
Hey, man, it's not about me. It's about you, man. I'm just happy to be here. I just want to thank you for letting me come on your podcast and just run my mouth. And I hope your listeners got something from it. And, just continue to strive, learn how to learn, keep your emotions out of it. And remember, there is nothing you can't do, no matter how old you are. It's up to you.
It's beautiful. Well said today. And you're my new role model, DC. I didn't know you had that much going on, but I want some of what you got going on there because it sounds like super fun to me. So I appreciate you being on here on the show. Check them out at tagteambackagain.com. Also, all kinds of great likes and shares for everything. Whoomp There It Is and the Scoop There It Is commercial and all kinds of cool stuff that DC has going on. If you like this episode, share it with somebody that you think needs to hear it. I think that's the best way to help everybody involved. So click the share button, the like, do what you got to do, and we'll see you next time. Go play.
Don't wait
Rico!
for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep on chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
I love we ended on the sprinkles. We got to do that. Love it.